Hi, good morning, friends. Today we're going to read the book Compost Stew, an A to Z recipe for the earth. And this book was written by Mary McKenna Sidales, and it was illustrated by Ashley Wolf. So in our social responsibility science unit with a little bit of social studies, we are going to talk about reducing, reusing, recycling, and rot. And compost helps us with that last R, that rot. So this book is an A to Z recipe, and a recipe is how you cook something. So this girl is going to cook a big batch of compost stew with things around her house. So let's find out all the things that she uses for compost stew. All right, we got some worms because composting can happen in the ground, on the ground. It makes for good soil. Compost stew. Environmental chefs, here's a recipe to fix from scratch to mix a batch of compost stew. Here are the ingredients. Apple cores, bananas that are bruised, coffee grounds with filters that are used. A, B, C. Dirt clods that are crumbled. Eggshells that are crushed. Fruit pulp left behind, all mushed. So fruit pulp, as you can see here, she was making like lemonade, and the inside of the lemon and the lemon that's already used, that can be used for compost. Your grass clippings, your hair snippings, and an insect or two. Just add it to the pot and let it all rot into compost stew. Things to save. Your jack-o'-lanterns, all of your kitchen scraps, even your laundry lint from the dryer trap. Your mulch removed from garden beds, your nutshells, your oatmeal, and all of your paper shreds. Quarry dust, your rye bread crust, and seaweed strands, only a few. Just add it to the pot and let it all rot into compost stew. Now, here's what you can take. You can take your tea bags plucked from long, hot swimmings. So if you make tea, the bag that you put in, that can be composted. Underbrush prunings, if you go outside and you do some yard work, those can be rot in the compost. Vegetable trimmings. Wiggly worms with compost cravings. Christmas or Xmas tree needles, but it's really Christmas tree. And yellow pine shavings. And zinnia heads from flower beds whose blooming days are through. Just add it to the pot and let it all rot into compost stew. Then you moisten it and you toss it lightly and you cover it and let it brew. And when the cooking is complete, Mother Earth will have a treat. Dark and crumbly, rich and sweet. Now open the pot, and what do you got? Compost stew. There it is there. And it looks like dirt. And you see that garden behind them? Now they'll be able to take that compost and they'll be able to use it to enrich their soil and help their plants grow. Here's a little chef's note. I'll bring it closer and you can pause it and read it with your families. All right, friends, so here's your activity with Compost Stew. So when we compost things that are food that are not in paper. So if you were eating a sandwich and it was wrapped in foil, you could compost, if you were done eating it, you could compost your sandwich, but you couldn't compost the foil because the foil will not break down and be good for the soil. So if you were going to eat some oranges, and you know how when you eat your orange or your tangerine, you peel off the skin? That skin, instead of throwing it in the garbage, you could throw it into your compost bin if you had one. And in our house, Mr. Rodriguez and I have a really big garbage can that is just for composting. So when we eat our eggs for breakfast, we throw it in there. If we don't finish our food, instead of throwing the food in the garbage, we throw it in the compost bin. When we have a napkin and we've wiped our face and we're done, we can throw that in the compost too because it has been soiled by food. If you use a paper plate and it has food on it, food stains, like say you had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and the plate has peanut butter and jelly that dripped on it, that could go in your compost too because it is food stained. So anything that is food related can go into the compost. And then what you can do is you can take that compost and you can take it to your green bin outside, and then when the garbage man comes, they can take that and they can make their own compost stew at the waste management yard. So it's just another way that we can help save our earth and protect our earth is by sorting our trash away from our food. So instead of just throwing everything into the garbage and making our garbage piles bigger and bigger, we can sort and we can make the world a better place. So your activity for today, friends, is to look around your house and I want you to find 10 different things. It's a lot, but I know you can do it. 10 things that you could compost. Maybe you saw them in the book and you have them too. That is fine. Or maybe you were thinking and talking with your families after this video and you thought of different things that you could compost that I didn't say and that the book didn't say. What you're going to do is you're going to either take pictures of it and upload. You can show a video, take a video and show me all the things and talk to me in the video and tell me what you found. Or you can type them up in your Seesaw, or you can write them. But I want 10 different things that you can compost. That is part of your homework for today. 10 items you can compost. I look forward to seeing what you find that you can compost and make compost stew out of and enrich that soil. All right, friends, until next time, bye.